You have found what lights you up. I'm your host, Sunny the Life Coach, and I'm here because I see you searching for something or someone out there to help you feel better. Something to take away the pain that you're feeling, the inadequacies. I know all of the things that happen in life can leave you feeling empty. Your search is over. This podcast is all about finding your own freedom and power to love yourself enough to shine in the ways you were always meant to, the ways in which you are already fully capable of. If you're ready for some real talk, some serious truth bombs, and a few F-bombs, you are in the right place. Let's do this. Let's get lit. Well, hey there. Welcome to episode 40. Here we are, literally at the very end of this wild year that has been 2020. The absolute last day of this year will be behind us in just a few short hours. It has certainly been different, hasn't it? Probably not what you expected. Probably not what any of us expected. One of the concepts I've been working to drive home a lot throughout this year is truly understanding, coming to the full awareness and accepting that the future is uncertain. Because throughout this year, I've heard a lot of people say things like, once this pandemic is over, or I can't wait to get back to normal, or the most tragic of all, I don't want to set goals when I don't know what the future is going to be. Here's the thing. You never did know. We humans are so funny that way. We get so attached to our lives and the way things have always been. We get attached to our routines and our customs, our traditions, and we think it's always supposed to be that way. No, it was always supposed to be this way. All of the things that have happened during 2020 happened because they were supposed to. That's the way it was always going to be. And how do I know this? How can we know that's the way it's supposed to be? Because that's what is happening. I want you to settle into the reality of uncertainty and allow yourself to be unbothered by it. The reason that we think things need to play out a certain way is that we've already envisioned our movie. Every scene needs to play out the way that we have scripted it, and all of the supporting actors need to follow their lines. We will be comfortable in that place of certainty. We will be at ease when life just flows the way it always has, or when it returns to normal, to the mundane, to the known, the certain. I've talked about change and uncertainty before. I think it's an important topic. Let's face it, change is always going to happen. The world around us is evolving, and so are we. This constant evolution, if we open ourselves up to it, can be an amazing thing. Yet some of us would rather resist it with every fiber of our being. No, I didn't ask for this, I didn't want this, and I still don't want it. Well, resisting just creates further internal conflict. What we really need to do is look at what is changing around us, come to accept it, and then adjust. We can roll with change. We can ride those waves. It could even be fun. That's it. Enjoy the process. Have fun with it. Don't wait until you reach the goal. Have fun along the way. Consider it part of your journey. Enjoy your journey. I want you to have goals. In fact, I want you to be continually setting new goals for yourself and challenging yourself, not just at the end of December of every year, but all the time. Every month, make a plan for something that you want to accomplish and then get to the work of making it happen week by week. That is so rewarding. And when the world around you isn't exactly cooperative with your goals and expectations, with that script that you've written in your mind, adjust. Don't resist or give up. Find ways to adjust to it and be unbothered by it. One of the things that really helped me over this past year is a consistent meditation practice. For sure, meditation has been proven to positively impact both your physical and mental well-being. I highly recommend it. And I don't do marathons, just 10 minutes per day of a guided meditation. And some days, if I can work in a little more, then I will. You'd be surprised at what a difference just 10 minutes can make in your ability to find peace and calm within yourself, and to find peace and calm with the way things are in the world. Because guess what? You have no control over what happens in the world. You do have control over your response to it. I have been mostly unbothered by anything that has happened this year, and there have been a lot of things that have happened that could be viewed negatively. There are a lot of things that might have left you feeling hopeless, helpless, or powerless. Because really, this can be true at any time, any year. I can reflect back on 2019 or 2018 and find things that didn't work out for me the way I had hoped for, things that didn't follow my script. This isn't about just look at the bright side thinking either. It's simply taking a step back and holding some awareness that this is how it's supposed to be, right now, in this moment. Cry it out if you need to. Then take a deep breath and release all of your notions about how you wanted things to be and accept what is. When I first moved here to Dallas, I had been leading a really big project in my previous job, so I was fortunate enough to be able to see that through to completion in a remote capacity for a few months. That way, I was able to delay the job search for a bit. And I remember thinking at that time, there are so many opportunities here. It will be easy to find another job. I kept that thought all through wrapping up my project, all the way until I signed off for the last time and packed my laptop up to ship it back. Then I thought, shit, now what? I have to start over. I'm in a new city. I don't have contacts. Where do I even begin? A whole hell of a lot of uncertainty. Being unemployed is rough. I get it. Trying to figure out where to begin feels confusing, overwhelming. The first job I landed was a contract position that only ended up lasting 4 months. But I had a chance to meet people and form relationships that I still have today. Something good usually comes out of the unexpected. The next job lasted a bit longer, and I was a full-time employee. It had lots of perks, and I really enjoyed that job. But as many large corporations and companies do these days, this one was going through a reorganization. It was a merger acquisition, in fact. And a lot of people from the acquired company didn't make the cut. I thought the 15-minute private meeting with leadership that was on my calendar was on everyone's calendar. And many of us had confirmed with one another that we had such a meeting. I thought it was just going to be an update of the new organizational structure. That much I expected. What I didn't expect is that it would be relayed to me that we've created a new organizational structure, and referring to an org chart, there's no box for you. Just like that. No box for me. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was stunned and hurt and confused. Did I just hear that right? Think of a time in your life when you felt similar. It's one of those life-altering moments that just seems to go in slow motion at the time. I went home and I cried a little bit. And then I just sat with all of the uncertainty. Now what? I truly did not want to tackle another grueling job search where everything is online, and it really does help to know someone on the inside who can give you a referral, which was the case with this job. You think social media algorithms are rough? Play the game with online recruiting systems that scan your resume for exact keyword matches before even putting you in a pile for consideration. I started setting up lunch meetings or phone chats with some key friends that I had made in just a little over a year of my time here in a brand new state. And one of them was a fitness instructor and also my stand-up paddleboard coach, by the way. I was really trying to think outside of the box, quite literally, because I was starting to realize that I'd been spending about an hour each day driving a box in order to sit in a box and then be told there was no longer a box. I really started to question whether I wanted to continue down that path. And of course, if that meeting had never happened for me, I would probably still be doing it because it's what I knew and it's what I was comfortable with. When the discomfort finds you, I've learned that it's better to fully acknowledge it than to try to pretend that it's not there, to ignore it, or to resist it. So I was fascinated with this woman's life and that she got to go to work on a lake, in a yoga studio, in another fitness studio, and in a rec center teaching swimming lessons. Every day was different, and she was not in any box. Now, I asked her how she got here, what certifications she had, how much I admired the fact that her jobs allowed her to also work on herself constantly, every day. And that may have prompted her to say what she said next, or may not have, who knows. But she said, I have a friend who's studying to be a life coach, and in so doing, she has to work on herself daily too. She loves it. And that statement hit me straight in the gut. Life coach. Well, I hadn't even thought of that. I'm intrigued. What does a life coach do exactly? My initial thought was that a life coach would help you navigate life. And yes, I later learned that it's certainly that and so much more. But that wasn't even on my radar. I was thinking I might want to explore fitness because I knew that would also help you to keep your mind balanced. Well, the rest is history from that one conversation and the reaction in my body when I heard those words that really amounted to an offhanded remark on my friend's part. That is what led me here. That's why I'm talking to you today. That single moment that only happened because someone sitting in a conference room removed my name from a box. What a gift. And through the process of studying to become a coach, through the intensity of certification, the testing, and the practice, I learned to be unbothered by uncertainty. I thought life was supposed to go a certain way. I thought I could continue to work for that company until I decided that I didn't want to anymore. I thought that's how it was supposed to be. But the universe, God, source, spirit, whatever you believe in, has other plans, doesn't it? That's always been true. I think deep down we all know that, don't we? We never know what's coming. We never know what event is going to happen in the bigger picture that is going to rock our world on a personal level. Tomorrow is not promised, and tomorrow may not unfold according to your plan. That's how it's always been. Even just now, I've received texts from both a client and my coach to make adjustments to our schedule. As I'm looking at my phone, I can see that another client is getting ready to send a video message. It happens all the time, on both large and small scales, every minute of every day. Yet we get ourselves all worked up when things don't play out according to our plan, according to the way that we've written our movie script in our minds. When things suddenly feel uncertain, we think we are no longer in control. Well, we are in control. We are in control of the way that we view the circumstances of our lives, the thoughts that we think, the stories that we tell ourselves. And we also have the power to change those stories. I can assure you that after my initial meeting with leadership, during which I learned that I no longer had a box, that I was devastated because the story was, why didn't I make the cut? Why wasn't I good enough? Well, over half of my team didn't make the cut, and some of them have been there for many years and survived previous reorgs. I'm sure they had similar thoughts. When you take a little time and view it through a lens of neutrality, you can more easily see that these decisions were made by a consulting company. And I'm sure they were strategic and none of it was personal. They didn't know any of us. That's why such consulting companies exist. So leadership doesn't have to get their hands dirty. That's just how it works. Besides the gift of steering me toward life coaching, another positive that came from that experience is the preparation for the unexpected. The ability to hone in on my own power to control my thoughts and my story about how this movie is unfolding differently than I had scripted it. So when all of these things started happening in the spring of this year, school suddenly going virtual and it was messy as fuck, and non-essential businesses closed, and the way that we moved through daily life changed quite drastically and rapidly, I knew how to roll with it. I knew how to be unbothered by it. I knew none of this was in my control, and being angry or frustrated about any of it would not serve me. Not even a little bit. I find so much gratitude in knowing this now. As Rumi says, all your anxiety is because of your desire for harmony. Seek disharmony, then you will gain peace. Indeed, on the other side of this discomfort, you will find comfort. On the other side of uncertain, you will find ease. So as you approach this new year, new month, new week, or new day, whenever you are receiving this message, I want you to consider that life is uncertain, and that doesn't give you license to make excuses not to do something right now. Not waiting until everything and everyone around you aligns perfectly with your plan. There will always be a reason not to, and you will always find a way to put something off until tomorrow. And you'll never know what gifts you may have missed by allowing yourself to be bothered by the uncertainty that is always presenting itself in this life. Always. Take a deep breath. Take a long walk outside. Your answer will come to you if you just allow yourself to be open to it. Happy New Year, or happy random weekday. Whenever you are hearing this, make this moment the one that you choose to take control of your experience of this life. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to rate and review on Apple Podcasts so that others may find it too. Light up, shine on.